Get it out. Get it out. This group sounds like it spent the weekend in Paul McCartney's luggage. Well, more about that later. But anyway, I thank you for coming. This is the Tonight Show, the 90-minute program that asks the burning question, could Sanka Brand have made Hitler a nice guy? This was a little rough today to start because it was what we call, in the entertainment business, a slow news day. Not a lot of kind of repetitive stories, nothing big. And the way you can tell it's what they call a slow news day, you pick up the L.A. Times, and the headline this morning was, Maine lobsters die on arrival at Barstow. That's a slow news day. We did uncover one little historical bit for you. Today is a rather important date in American history. On January 17th, 1706, do you know what happened? I'm going to tell you. Benjamin Franklin was born.
Wow.
Yes, Benjamin Franklin, yes. And I was talking to our receptionist at the Tonight Show. Remember the pretty blonde receptionist we have in the Tonight Show? Bo Fleckman?
Yeah.
Bo is not a 10. So I said to Bo, do you realize today is the birthday of the father of electricity? And she said, gee, if it wasn't for him, I'd have to watch my TV by candlelight. Bo's pilot light is not on full, folks, I'll tell you. Now, Benjamin Franklin, he was a writer, a journalist, a philosopher, a ladies' man. He was the Tom Snyder of his time. Tom is with us tonight, by the way. Yes. Tom Snyder's a guest on the show. You're all pretty choked up about that, aren't you? You shouldn't have reacted that way. Tom just went into cardiac arrest in his dressing room. This is also, although it's a bright day because of Franklin's birthday, it's also a sad day in history. This is the 70th anniversary of the death of the inventor of the toilet, the flush toilet. I'm going to tell you his name. You're going to think I am making it up, but I am not. His name is Thomas Crapper. That is not... Absolutely. Thomas Crapper invented the flush toilet, and 70 years ago today, he was given a touching send-off. What happened, he was cremated, and his ashes were dumped overboard by the tidy bowl man. And his dying words, most people don't know this, his dying words were the same words he used when he came up with his invention. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Same exact. Sorry about that. Actually, his invention never really caught on until another famous inventor came by, Thomas Sharman. Well, let's see. Gee, another American institution bit the dust today. Mike Douglas no longer has his television show. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Mike's been on for what, 17 or 18 years? A long time, but actually Mike Douglas needs a rest because I don't know if you know this, but for years, he's been holding down a second job. And in his spare time, he's also Merv Griffin. Most people did not know that, and that's why Mike is tired. No. Mike brought the term co-host into the American language. Now, if you've seen Mike's show, to be a co-host, you have to meet very strict requirements. Your name has to be listed in any phone book. Well, as I mentioned earlier, you probably read in the paper today that Paul McCartney of the Beatles, now with his own group Wings, was busted in Japan for possession of marijuana. Yeah, that's true. Customs officials, I understand, in Japan were kind of suspicious of McCarthy.
How suspicious were they?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, darling, He'd been landed 4 hours, and his luggage was still in a holding pattern. Let me explain something. I don't want to say that Paul was carrying a lot, but you know those trained German Shepherd dogs they put in the airports to sniff out drugs in his luggage? The dog that sniffed out his luggage is now on a drug rehabilitation program. Well, sure. Let's go to politics. Let's see what's happening. President Carter's doing very well in the polls. Very well. How well? What? No, we don't do this every joke. No, you got to have sympathy for President Carter. He has got the world's second toughest job. Toughest job is being the Shah of Iran's travel agent. President Carter's playing it, I think, fairly astute, don't you? He will not leave the White House to campaign for the presidency. Mr. Carter says it's more important that he stay in the White House so people will think he's president. And poor Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown he's the governor of California. And he's running for the nomination, but he was just picked up by the Border Patrol for trying to smuggle a parrot into California so he'd have someone to debate with. You see what the Reader's Digest, the little brouhaha they have created? The Reader's Digest is attacking Ted Kennedy and his version of Chappaquiddick. Well, he's never going to get rid of that, is he? You got to remember, though, the Reader's Digest is very conservative. They happen to be backing Calvin Coolidge, who's dead. No, how can you believe a magazine that still pays $5 a joke in these times of inflation? Those are what they call statement jokes. You don't expect a big laugh, but you think by doing those kind of jokes, you're making some kind of social comment. And I sprinkle those throughout the monologue so that you don't laugh so hard. And I think I've...
Yeah, they're rested now.
They're rested now. Just a little breathing space. Anyway, the deposed Shah of Iran is going to be interviewed tonight on television by David Frost. And the Ayatollah is asking for equal time. And I understand that ABC has offered the Ayatollah Khomeini an interview with Howard Cosell. So they're doing that so the Ayatollah could really learn to hate. We have an exciting show. Later on tonight, the Pittsburgh Steelers will come out here and we're going to let you feed them. Okay, we've got on the show tonight, Burt Convy's here tonight. And he is, Burt's an extremely talented entertainer. And he's got another movie coming out February the 7th called Hero at Large, in which he stars. Well, it's already out, isn't it? Somebody said they saw it. It said coming out February the 7th called Hero at Large, and somebody said they just saw it.
I can see a private screening.
They saw a screening of it. I see a preview. Actually, the official opening, in which the poor people go to.
The ones that pay for those private screenings.
That's right, the people. Where was I?
February 7th.
Yeah, February 7th, called Hero. No, I already said that. Oh. Hero at Large is the name of the picture, and he stars in that with John Ritter. And he'll also be appearing live, Burt Convy, not John Ritter, at the Fairmont Hotel in Dallas, January 21st, for 2 weeks. Then he goes to Harrah's in Reno, Nevada, February 7th, for another 2 weeks. Then he comes back here and just hangs around. Then Burt goes to bed about 11 o'clock. Gets up at about, so I don't think we need any more of this. Just give you his plans. The man is already here.
Yes.
Well, let's hope he's here. Otherwise, we have a big hole right here in the show.
Yeah, I know. The last time
Why don't you choose a nice one like it's only a paper moon? It's only a paper over cardboard.
I know. I'm crazy. The last time I was here, I did Maria from West Side Story.
Another difficult song.
Yeah. 3 or 4 more times, I'll do the whole score, you know.
But that was one of the great musicals of all time.
Oh, you bet.
And the music will be a classic forever.
You bet. Coming your way.
Yes. And now we have a word
from...
You thought it was all for you,
I thought, gee, that's nice. Here I am. I came back as quick as I could. I think it's a terrific movement, and I want to join it right now.
Yeah. You know, I should mention for the first time, I talked with Burt Fox this afternoon.
Oh, you did?
He was in town. He gave me a call. He was delighted about the whole thing that's happened in the past couple of weeks. You know, he's doing everything. He's doing a Love Boat. He's doing a People's Choice. He's on NBC special. He's got so much work to now, even if the Miss America people ask him to come back. I don't know if Burt has time to do it anymore.
I can't fit him into my schedule. You know what I wanted to ask you? As a matter of fact, when I saw you talking about it, the first thing that occurred to me was, how is he? I mean, he's fixed. He's okay.
What do you mean?
Burt Parks.
You mean is he neutered or something? What do you mean?
Now, let me rephrase
Well, you said,
the question.
is he fixed? I mean...
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, he's okay.
I don't ask Burt. I don't know.
I mean, I got a feeling that he is in terrific
Burt's
shape.
been very successful all his life, professionally. Yeah, he's a...
And that this is really amusing him. I got to think that this is really kind of fun for him. Do you think so?
Oh, I think he was also rather surprised and delighted with the reaction of the people around the country.
Well, I'm sure he's very touched with what you have done. I mean,
most of the people.
With everybody who has rallied around him and so forth. But
I think he finds it, very, very amusing now.
I think so, too. I think he's terrific.
Anyway, you got another movie. And somebody said, Bud Robinson was telling me backstage that he had seen a preview of it.
Yeah.
And said it was wonderful.
Oh,
is this the picture with John Ritter?
Yeah, it's called Hero at Large. It's kind of fun. I mean, it is fun. I like it a lot. I hope people do, too, you know.
You make a lot of pictures. You're busy.
I keep,
Don't you ever
hustle a buck, you know.
Yeah, now you're going to play the Fairmont, and then you go play 2 weeks again, and here and there.
Yeah.
Don't you ever take vacations?
Yes. Well, I just did take a vacation. It's the first time in, I can't remember the last time. Took the whole gang, took my whole family. Went to Hawaii, which is, was really kind of fun.
Where, the Big Island or where?
The Big Island. Oahu. Is that
That's the Big Island.
Is that the Big Island?
No, Hawaii is the Big Island.
Hawaii is the Big Island. We went to Oahu, and we got there and left before the rain, and we had a wonderful time, especially because I have a son who is going through puberty at the moment, and
Good for him.
You know about that. You've been all through that, I'm sure.
Thanks. Yes, I've been...
No. I don't mean you.
Oh, my kids.
I mean your son.
Oh, certainly. I thought you were talking about me.
I could tell you've been through. Your voice has changed and everything. You know,
I remember the exact day. It was a Wednesday, 1942, January the 3rd. 3:30 in the afternoon.
Is that right?
It's all over in half an hour, but I went right through it.
I wish his would move on a little bit.
He's starting to become a man now.
He's becoming a man, and it's wonderful because it's kind of it's a little heart-wrenching. You see yourself and you watch the things he's going through, and you can't do anything about it. I mean, he answers the phone now, hello, and you just wait patiently till he finds the tone he likes, you know. But we were sitting on the beach in Hawaii, and
14,
just 14, and here are all these little nymphets running around the beach, 14, 15 years old with the little bikinis, and he almost, did like the Mel Brooks line. He said, hey, Dad, there's ladies here, He's starting to wake up, and wonderful things happened there that have never happened before. He combed his hair.
What a breakthrough.
It is a major breakthrough. The first time in 14 years he's ever done that.
He was conscious of his appearance because of
Exactly.
now.
He wants to start looking good. He put on a shirt with a collar. He has never worn anything but T-shirts. He has, we bought him his first pair of shoes. This is all true, with hard tops. He's only worn tennis shoes for 14 years,
Hard tops?
Hard top, a regular shoe. He said, Dad, I think it's time I want a shoe. And I said,
that's fine.
Okay, kid. I know men here in...
That's interesting.
Well, men here in California go through middle age and have never worn anything but tennis shoes,
And they look ridiculous.
And they look stupid, And he's growing about a half an inch a month, which is really... I hope he stops. He'll be 19 feet tall by the time he's 25. He is... It's very exciting to me because I see myself.
Well, you're reliving your own childhood.
Absolutely, and then
you remember, and they're tough years.
Well, they can be painful.
Well, the body's undergoing emotional changes, physical changes, and you're really torn. You don't know exactly what's going on.
That's right, and Mother Nature plays funny. I remember I was on the beach one time like this, and people were going by and kind of chuckling, and a friend came up to me and said, "Burt, put your arms down." I was only growing hair under one arm.
Oh. That can be traumatic.
You know how embarrassing that is? You got to, hi. Chicks, a lot of chicks.
You remember those times, huh?
Oh, I do remember.
Painful or?
Well, I had a couple of, I remember that we'd go to the movie every Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yes.
The Elport Hotel up here on Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, still there, and neck through two double features, And that's what you did. And I came home, and my mother would say, Burt, what's wrong with your lips? And they were like silly putty. They were so exhausted,
And you feel like you had Novocaine all the way back to here. No feeling at all left.
That's right. Remember when you try to pick up a girl, and the first thing you would do is put your arm on the back of the chair.
And try to sneak it in,
And,
yeah.
and, you know, it took like an hour and a half to get up the nerve to put it on her shoulder, and you come home, you'd be aching. I had the very worst experience I ever had in my life. I mean, it's painful today. It still traumatizes me. Honest to God, I was at a party one time, and I had been in love with a girl for 2 or 3 years, and she was a year older than I was.
What do you think was love?
Well, it was love then, you know.
Yes.
You don't know what it is. You know, you have this desire, but
Yes.
but you don't know what to do, and you're inexperienced, and you know.
Yeah.
You feel that way now
Yes,
sometimes,
yes.
right? And this girl, Mary Beckwith, came in. I had loved her so long. She had flaxen hair and crystal clear blue eyes, and I had never had the nerve to get near her.
Yeah.
And I just had to. Something inside me was yearning, you know what I mean?
I can understand. Of course.
And I went over and I asked her for her dance, and she said yes. And now I'm on the floor, and we're dancing it. And of course, she had on an Angora sweater, and it's sticking all to me, but I didn't care. And I chewed gum. That was I guess it was kind of a thing, you know. You chew gum, yeah. Makes you kind of...
Made you look laid back and cool.
Kind of cool and kind of hip, you know. I'm chewing gum. But now I'm in ecstasy, and I'm dancing with Mary Beckwith, and it's so wonderful. And I guess my jaw got a little slack, and my mouth's open, and I feel a little tug, and her hair has gotten in my mouth and is sticking to the gum. And now I can't dare tell her because we're cheek to, you know, we're like this, and the hair is here, and it's wonderful. And
She probably thought you were some kind of animal.
she thought, what is he doing over there? And did you ever see a dog try to chew gum? You know how they go, and they do that. I'm trying to break it off. Come on, this is very, very important to me. And there I am. And now I only have, and now it gets worse. The more I try to get free, the more hair I get in my mouth. And the only alternative is to just let the gum come out and swing around, you know.
Good.
But I'm afraid it'll swing around and hit her in the face. It was so horrible. I didn't know what to do. I let it go on for about 10 minutes, and finally, there was only one thing to do. I said, "Will you excuse me?" And I ran. And I got out of there, and I heard later that she cried, and she got her girlfriends. They went in the bathroom. They had to cut it out with a scissors.
Now, it's funny now, but at those times...
Oh, it was so painful.
You think you're going to die, right?
So terrible.
You ever heard from Mary Beckwith? Was that her name?
No, she's there now. She's probably got a little bald spot right here.
Or completely bald from that. That's a funny story.
From pulling gum out.
Now your son's got to go through all of that.
He's going to go through it all. Yeah.
I got to take a break here.
Okay.
We'll do this. Be right back. All right. Big Tom is with us tonight. Tom Snyder, as you well know, hosts Primetime Saturday in this network, is also host of The Tomorrow Show, which has been on, what, 6 years now?
Is that right? 6 years? Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, it was on. That's all right. I don't know either. I'm
supportive.
It's just the way I feel. So 6 years. And as of this Friday, that would be next Friday, day after tomorrow, as a matter of fact, which is the 21st, at 10 o'clock. He's going to be seeing the first of several celebrity interview specials. I understand he's got some fascinating people. Oh. Would you welcome Mr. Tom Snyder? Yes.
Gentlemen?
That was a rather dramatic entrance. I mean,
The man back there wouldn't open the curtain. He said, I'm not going to let you go out there.
Most guests come right through, and all of a sudden the curtain parted, and we saw nobody, and the tension naturally built. I thought you were up to one of your old tricks again.
No, John, no tricks tonight.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank you for the lovely gift you gave me before the show. Dropped by to say hello to Tom in his dressing room, and he gave me something that I'll treasure. For probably till I get to my car tonight.
You know, most shows have jackets or ties or sweatshirts or socks, and we thought hats would be appropriate.
This is really cute. Are these favorite gifts, or?
No, we give them to a lot of people. I just thought it'd be fun, John, to bring it on, have you put it on.
Hey, I see.
All right.
I want to tell you, folks. There's loyalty.
Don't take it off.
There's loyalty. How far will I go? Hey, I know who you got on the show. Let me see if I got it straight now. Because I'm serious, you've got some very, very hot people in the business. One I've never seen on very few shows. Clint Eastwood.
Exactly.
Who hardly ever does television.
Never.
Rarely. I think he did one show about 3 or 4 years ago. I can't recall which one it was. It's some interview show that probably is no longer on.
Yeah, could be.
And he was most cooperative. We thought when we called his people, his agent and manager, that Clint Eastwood would say, you know, I don't need that. I'm the biggest box office star in the world. I just as soon pass. And gee, he just couldn't have been more cooperative. We were
Yeah.
surprised when he said yes.
Then I suppose when he got on the air, you killed him.
No. He's a tough man.
Gee, Clint, I thought you were nice and just...
No. Clint Eastwood has the image of being really macho. Before I went to do the interview, I saw this picture he did, the outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah.
Where he's...
Oh, God.
Oh,
Bodies were dropping...
all over the place.
Gnats.
Unbelievable. And so you expect Clint to really be... And he is the meekest, most mild-mannered, most gentle man.
You're not saying that he's... I want to make this perfectly straight because we may have a scoop here.
Mild and gentle-mannered, you know, that he doesn't yell and holler and scream, ask his own way. He didn't seem to be temperamental. He's a director, too. He directs pictures now. And he was directing a scene on top of the Rockefeller Center building that day. So we went up with the television crew. And, you know, when a movie crew and a television crew gets together, there are differing unions, and there's a chance that there could be some kind of friction if somebody touches a light or a microphone or something like that. But he was... You're starting it up.
No.
Now, come on.
I didn't want a biography of Clint Eastwood. I just was mentioning his own show. Now, what happened with the two unions? What I don't understand.
Nothing. Clint was very nice in telling his crew to look out for our crew and vice versa. I'm just trying to say the man was
a nice
man.
guy.
Nice fellow.
I got that idea.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that everybody understood.
He is on the show. And you also have Barry Manilow.
And Bo
Derek.
Bo Derek.
Very good. Now, that's not bad. And who else?
Gary Coleman.
And Gary Coleman.
The kid who saved NBC.
Yes. Yeah. Who's doing Sermonette on NBC tonight. He actually closes out the network. This kid is working. They're working this kid to death.
Could we ask, would it be all right if we asked how many people here have seen the movie 10?
Sure. Now, here's very funny.
Got a guy in the band, okay.
Everybody I've known who's seen it said it's very funny.
And now, how many have gone out and bought the Bolero?
Well, obviously the people who saw
the
know what
movie
you're
didn't
talking
go by
about.
Bolero, yeah.
There was a scene in it in which they make love to the Ravel's bullet. Guy says he doesn't need it. Porgy and Bess man. Yes, you is my woman, you know. Whatever works, I suppose. Bo Derek was on Freddie's Doing This to Me, which means film clip.
No, either that or hurry up. What is it?
No, he didn't mean it. We're not trying to rush you, Tom. Now, we had Bo Derek on the show. What was your reaction to her?
One of the brightest women I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Now, you say that with a tinge of...
I went there expecting to find a woman because in the movie she doesn't have that many lines. And she doesn't talk that much. And so I thought maybe she'd be a little bit reticent to talk, but gee, she carried on a conversation. She was very, very nice.
Had sentences and everything?
Yeah, words, paragraphs, the whole thing, yeah. And I expected her to have the beads on. She didn't have the beads on.
No, that was just for the picture. And she's only 23 or 24 years old.
23.
23 years old. And, do we have a film clip from the show?
Do we have a film clip?
I suppose this is why you...
I hope to heven we have a film clip from the show.
And if we don't have that, you all get a hat. One of the crasser promotional stunts I've ever seen done for a show, but we really don't care. Now, this is when you're interviewing one of these people on your show, I assume?
I think we see clips from three. I think we see Bo Derek, Barry Manilow, and Gary Coleman. I think those are the three we see.
Okay. There's a monitor right over here. Of course, you've seen this, so you're probably not.
Yes, I got you, John.
Here they are, right here.
What is a 10? A 10 is someone from head to toe and in all ways perfect.
Do you really believe that?
That's what a 10 is?
Yeah.
Well,
When you brush your teeth...
if you say
When you
from
brush
1
your
to
teeth
10.
in the morning, do you wake up and say, look in that mirror and say, hello, 10?
Oh, no. I'm not saying I am a 10. No, but that's what it means.
Are you insecure about your success in any way, that maybe it came too quickly, came too easy, is too much success? I almost detect an apology for success.
Oh, I don't have guilt about it. I've worked my buns off to get where I am. This has been an incredible life that I'm having. No, I don't feel guilty about it at all. It's just that I don't need it, so I don't worry about it too much. I really don't need it to survive.
Did you want to be in the catalogs or be in the fashion shows?
Yeah,
Was that exciting for you?
Yeah, I wanted to be in the fashion shows, model clothes, because I like clothes. And clothes is my favorite next to trains, planes, cars, trucks, and boats.
Gotcha.
Oh, how old is he, 11 now?
11 years old.
He's been on this show, too, Gary Coleman. He's 11 years old, and he almost frightens you at times because it doesn't sound like an 11-year-old child talking.
Oh, I know.
He was talking about his production company last time he was here, and my
I-
eyes were clicking, you know. He says, yeah, you know, I got this production company. We're doing this show. That's an 11-year-old kid with a production company.
He's got it together. At one point, I asked him what he planned to be when he grew up, and he said, well, I sit here, and he said, I watch what goes on behind the cameras. I watch the directors and the producers, because if I ever fail as an actor, I want a job. I said, well, which one do you like? He said, I like to be a producer, because if you're a producer, you just sit back and relax. Don't have to do anything.
There's Freddie DeCordo right over there. And what is he doing at this very moment?
Settling back and relaxing.
He's sitting in his chair going, how's it going? This isn't one of those nice secure jobs. You know, you sit off camera and go, they're going to the tubes tonight, but who cares? Not my fault.
Right. His check is the same, you know.
Same thing.
Doesn't hurt him.
They don't say DeCordova goes into the crapper.
No.
It's us. Named after Thomas Crapper.
Funny choice.
Named after Thomas. We're going to take a short break here. We're going to return. Make a correct myself. I made a misstatement here, and I should have known better. Since today happens to be
He
the
made a
18th.
mistake. Who made the mistake?
No, it's not important. But since it's the 18th today, and I said your show was on January the
17th
21st.
today.
What? Is it 17th today?
Yeah.
After 12. On the air.
Well, see, my watch is on Showtime.
Oh, I see. Does that light up over
It
there?
also lights up, and you get the ratings come in
Midwest
here.
is 17.
The ratings come in here at the bottom.
So quiet you can hear him dropping.
So
yeah.
obviously, Tom's show could not be on tomorrow night, Friday, the 21st. It's on Monday at 10 o'clock, the 21st. So I apologize
That's all right.
for that error, because we would have viewers obviously tuning in tomorrow night, and they would think you'd trick
Where is
them
it?
again.
What night is that? What night is that on again?
It's on Monday night, the
Oh, okay.
21st, right here on NBC, with Gary Coleman. And Clint Eastwood is really a nice guy.
Meek. He's one of the segments.
Look at little vignettes that you have.
Chapters.
3 of them. James Wood has been with us before. He is a fine actor. He was in the Holocaust, and many critics agree that his stunning performance as the psychotic cop killer in The Onion Field may well earn him an Academy Award nomination. Would you welcome, please, James Woods.
Fine. I feel guilty, though. I feel terrible.
What are you guilty about?
Well, I got here, and everybody backstage said, what are you wearing tonight? And I said, well, I'm wearing, like, these kind of greenish pants and this black leather jacket. And they said, well, do you see how Johnny dresses? And I said, yeah. I said, I think it's great, but
Yeah.
Dolores didn't show up today, so I have to wear this, you know, and I feel terrible. So will you forgive me?
Of course.
Okay, great.
I want you to be comfortable.
Great. Well, I'm not really comfortable, actually, because I look like a rat, but I mean,
I always get in the habit, I guess, wearing a
I think it looks great.
jacket and a tie on the show. I don't know why, but I
well,
like
this is all I had left today. Dolores didn't show up, so...
Who's Dolores?
She's my housekeeper and surrogate mother, the greatest woman in the world, and she had to go to the doctors today, so all my
I'm
cleaning's
sorry.
with her, so...
Is she all right?
Well, yeah, she takes total care of me. She's great.
I mean, is she all right? She had to go to the doctor.
Oh, yeah, she's fine. I think she just... I know, she hasn't called... she hasn't called yet, but...
I'd like to know a little more about this Dolores. I think this is obviously a phony setup. And,
No. She's great. She's great. This is, thank you for this, too. It's a balloon that says we want Burt, which is, you
we
know...
handle all kinds of things. We have banners and
you.
bumper stickers, and you can know what Tom has.
My mother actually said to me, she said, would you please ask Johnny if he
Really?
would give you a balloon or a bumper sticker or a little button, which I also have here, but I couldn't fit it on my black leather
Yeah?
jacket. But,
Is she a Burt
thank
Parks
you.
fan, too?
Yeah, she thought it was great what you were doing, you know.
Oh, that's nice.
And if I had to, I could cough. But
So,
anyway,
what have you been doing lately?
I am getting ready to do another film, 2 more films, in fact,
Right.
and just sort of waiting it out until it happens. It's a tough time waiting around, you know.
I've often wondered, when you, as an actor, you make a film, first of all, by the time you complete it, you don't know until it comes out
What the
whether-
result...
what the reaction of the audience will be, and it might not come out for 6 months.
Right.
In the meantime, you sit around and wait for the good scripts.
Right, and another thing that happens is if you're working on a new film, everybody's talking to you about the old one, and you go, oh, yeah, what happened on that? They say, well, that scene was great, and you haven't seen it in 6 months, you know.
Right.
And the frame of mind you're in is for the next project you're working on. And the next one is a prison picture, in fact, that where I play a guard instead of being in prison. So it's like a little switch around, and I'm trying to get into a different frame of mind all of a sudden for that. So it's a very awkward situation.
Speaking of frame of mind, somebody told me, and I never know whether it's a put on or not. Somebody says, well, once you were depressed. Is this a true story? Did you give this out that you sat literally in a chair for like 20 days?
Yeah, it was actually 19 days. I went through a very bad period in New York when I wasn't working. I was having a lot of bad troubles, and we've all had these periods in our life.
Yeah.
And I happened to have mentioned this once casually in an interview when I had been doing a lot of interviews for Onion Field. And now that it's a matter of public record, I guess it's...
You're stuck with it forever.
Yeah, you're stuck with it forever. But I just sort of said it kind of casually. But at the time, it was pretty rough. I mean, I had nothing to do. I had no money. And I remember it was raining in New York, and I was sitting in this chair looking out the window. And for 19 days, it rained. And I thought if it would just stop raining, I'd be able to break out of it. And it was kind of a nice turning point because I thought, well, I'm either going to stay here for another 19 days or else I'm going to do something with my life. And I found that when you have a dream of something you really want to do, it will always make your life like come together somehow. And the dream of having work that I loved and being able to touch people and with the work made the difference, and it pulled me out of it.
Do you ever get to the point, and I don't want to make this heavy, of just saying, I think I'll step out the window and it's not going well? All of us have got close to that one time or another.
I was in a basement apartment, so really wouldn't I don't really know what I could have done, you know. But
it's called the cheap suicide.
Yes, the cheap suicide.
Throw yourself up to death.
There's only one kind of convenient chair to sit in for 19 days.
Yeah, that's... oh, I see. When you were sitting, you just sat down. Well, things have all turned around now. Now you're known. You've got the Holocaust behind you. You got Onion Field behind you. All the stuff's coming in.
It's really a strange kind of thing. I got this... this one was a killer. I got this thing about a week ago, I don't know, that I was one of the 10 most watchable men. And I wasn't sure it was like a group of voyeurs or whatever. And so I checked out what it was, and it was like this Man Watchers of America thing.
Well, there's a group of...
yeah. And I mean, I'm
the center women who...
but if they're like me, they have to be very off-center. But they picked me as one of the 10 most watchable men.
That's nice. Who else was in the group?
Georgie Jessel.
Well, he's certainly one of the 10 most watchable men.
I've never seen anybody more watchable. No, let's see, who was in the group?
I happened to see that, and there were some well-known people in there.
Yeah.
You and...
I think Eric Estrada.
He's watchable.
He's watchable.
Tom wasn't in there, was he?
I think Tom had some honorable mention. It was
5 years ago I was there.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Well, you're just not as fun to watch anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we all go through that. I was on that list once, and then you drop out of favor.
Someday you'll see me sitting down here reading, you know, my old Reader's Digest, saying, I was there like 15, 20 years ago. I was watchable. I had a shot, but that was kind of strange to me since...
Don't they usually give you reasons why they find the person watchable, or they say he's watchable because of the way he moves, or...
Yeah, mine was my sensitive and soft-spoken manner. They'd obviously never seen the show, but when I was on it, but for some reason they thought that I was sensitive and soft-spoken. I think they confused me with somebody else, probably.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, but I was really very much honored, but I thought... It was funny, like I was reading it, it's sort of like, oh, I wonder who these 10 guys are, and then you see yourself and you think, it's very weird. You don't see it as yourself, you see it as someone else, you know. None of your friends call up and kind of laugh into the phone. You know.
Do you hear from friends that you didn't know you had now that you've had some success?
Yeah, and also...
That happens frequently in this business. All of a sudden, old friends pop out of the woodwork.
Yeah, you get... I mean, there was... I've had people call up that I literally... I mean, I'll have conversations for 20 minutes with people and be looking them in the eye, and the whole time while you're looking, your mind is saying where, when, who, and you want to be really... You want to be attentive, and you feel like you're being rude, but you may have bumped into someone a long time ago who now is very happy for you, understandably so, and it's very flattering, and it gets kind of muddled.
Don't know who they are.
No, and so what I do is I think it's only right to say, look, I'm sorry, I can't place where we met, and as soon as they jog your memory, you do, and because I think it's bad to kind of like all of a sudden be in that celebrity kind of thing where you don't want to talk to someone or you don't know how to deal with them.
Somebody came up with a wonderful suggestion once, that if you don't know somebody's name, what to do, you turn around and say, excuse me, but I don't remember your name, and you would say...
I'm James Woods.
Well, I knew the James. It was the Woods. So you go the last time. I said, of course I knew James. It was the Woods, or either way around.
I did that. I actually tried that one once. I said, what was your first name? It was like different or something. And they said, you know, Madeline. And they said, no, what's my last name? And I go,
you see, that's where you get...
Which I didn't know either one, of course.
Where you get into the trap.
Yeah. So I think it's just best to say...
I could do this. Be right back. Yeah, just say it. I don't know.